Hi, today I'm going to talk about Bitcoin block a little bit more. Last time I talked about different fields in Bitcoin block, as we can see in blockexplorer.com. So this is the block 140452, and we have seen that these are Bitcoin headers, and then we have Bitcoin transactions. Today I'll take it to a little bit further, and I'll show you how the Bitcoin block code is written. So before that, so how do we run a Bitcoin client? So normally when we want to run a Bitcoin node, we will have to download the Bitcoin core from the bitcoin.org. So if you go to the bitcoin.org, then you go to the individuals and get started with Bitcoin, and you go to the choose your wallet, and here you can see we have Bitcoin core. So when you download this Bitcoin core, then and also Bitcoin wallet and any other wallet you want to download. However, so if you download the Bitcoin wallet or a Bitcoin client, you can set your computer as a Bitcoin node which can participate in the Bitcoin network. Okay, for example, in my computer, I have installed the Bitcoin client. So in my applications, I have Bitcoin Qt here. So if I run, if I double click this Bitcoin Qt, it will start the Bitcoin client, and it will start synchronizing with the Bitcoin network. So by synchronizing, what I mean, it will basically download all the block information. It will have a copy of the blockchain, of the whole blockchain. So normally in this MacBook, I don't run the Bitcoin block because of the hard disk space, because Bitcoin network has a lot of block. So I run it in one of my server. So let me connect to my server. So it will take a little bit more time. Okay, so here we are. So it's connecting to my server, where I will show you when the Bitcoin client is running. So for example, right now this is the Bitcoin core, so that I have just clicked to open. As you can see, it's verifying the blocks, and what you can do, there's if you go to the help section in the menu, in the Bitcoin Qt core, you will see this command line options. So as you can see, there are different command line options here, and I will go through those options later in detail. And there's another important information if you are interested in Bitcoin in the coding level, or you want to know how the program works, or for a programmer, I can say this debug window gives you a lot of information. For example, general information, and then console. In this console, we can use the Bitcoin RPC, remote procedure call, JSON RPC. We can do JSON RPC request to get the information from the network. And as you can see, we can also have network traffic right now because the Bitcoin core is loading. so it's not showing any network traffic, and you can also see how many peers you are connected to. So as you know, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash. That means it connects to the nearest peers and synchronize the Bitcoin network by connecting to the peers and sending information, transaction information, validating transaction information, and downloading block headers, and so many other things. Okay, so I will actually close this Bitcoin Core, and if you just run this Bitcoin Core, it will be just like this. But when you run the Bitcoin Core, it will actually synchronize as I said, it will synchronize your local blockchain with the main blockchain, with the longest blockchain in the network. So I have closed in this computer, but as I said, in my other server, the blockchain, the local blockchain in that server is already synchronized. So I will connect to that server. I will connect to that server via SSH. Okay, so let me connect to the server. So basically, so I'm connecting to my server. However, this IP address won't work to you because it's under a router. Oops. So so I am connected to my server. That means so now we are not going to see a graphical user interface. So rather, you can assume. Let me explain this to you a little bit more. So when this Bitcoin Core, it has a graphical user interface that is provided by the Bitcoin. They have created Qt. What is Qt? So there are Qt developments which you can use to create graphical user interface and lots of other things. However, Bitcoin also uses the Qt to create its graphical user interface. But at the beginning, there were no graphical user interface, and there were only a daemon, which we call Bitcoin D. So basically, so for example, I showed you that I can just double click here Bitcoin Qt, and it will start loading and synchronizing the blockchain. So basically, Bitcoin Qt is also a command line interface of the Bitcoin. So for example, if Bitcoin D is running in my server, so instead of running the Bitcoin GUI, I am running the Bitcoin D from the command line. So basically it's pretty simple. So if you instead of double clicking, if you just do Bitcoin D, just like if you just run Bitcoin D, it will start the Bitcoin and it will start synchronizing. And interestingly, you don't need to actually the thing is, if you just rely on Bitcoin graphical user interface, probably you won't have access to the Bitcoin D. I have the access to the Bitcoin D because I have installed the Bitcoin from the source, from the GitHub page. So where is Bitcoin on the GitHub? github.com Bitcoin. Okay. So this is the Bitcoin source. So everything we know about Bitcoin, everything what's happening in the Bitcoin world, it's basically written in C++ and in other programming languages, but mainly C++ in this repository, in this GitHub repository. So if you are a programmer, you may be interested in understanding the code here. Okay, so we have run Bitcoin D here, which Bitcoin D. So my server is running Bitcoin D. Let me summarize a little bit. So what I have told you so far. So far I have told you that if you want to run Bitcoin in your computer, that means you will have to download the Bitcoin client or Bitcoin core. You can go to the bitcoin.org and then you can download the Bitcoin client there or Bitcoin core there. Then if you want to run it, you can just run it after installing it. And also they have software for all platforms, Windows, Mac, Linux. So I am using Mac, that's why I will only talk in terms of the Mac operating system. So here when you download Bitcoin, then you will have the Bitcoin application that you can run. On the other hand, if you want to understand the source, or if you want to like work on the code, or if you just want to configure and make or install it from the source, you can clone this Git repository from the GitHub and then go to the doc here, and in the doc you will see for the OS X or Unix system all the dependencies that you need here, OS X build nodes, Unix build nodes. So if you go to the OS X build nodes, we have all the information how to install the Bitcoin. So I just told about the Bitcoin D. So this is the process how to build the Bitcoin daemon, Bitcoin D. Okay, so these are the three-step process. So so if you at the same time, so basically I also have a Bitcoin GUI with Bitcoin D, the command line Bitcoin, and because when I configured, I actually chose this option with GUI equals to Qt5. If I don't choose this option, then I won't have the Bitcoin GUI. However, so I gave you my summary of how you can install Bitcoin in your computer and how you can run it. So now I'll get back to the server. So the